Okay, I'm back. Okay, so this live today is all about T.I., a.k.a. Clifford Joseph Harris, and this live is about his numerology, all of his numbers, his born gift, his name, his date of birth. I'm going to go right into his born gift and then his life path, and then his destiny, soul urge, personal year, pinnacle, and karmic lesson. The only number that I'm going to keep out is the personality, because if you already know, I'm familiar with T.I., then his personality should not be explained. Pretty much, he's outspoken, and he speaks very well. So with that being said, I'm going to jump right into and get started on his numerology chart. If you had a chance to watch Black China's chart, I did hers first, then you will kind of get an idea of how I go through my, my thing. But if you have not had a chance to watch Black China, definitely go check her video out right after this one. Now, my name is Cynthia Meeks, and I am a numerologist and a life coach, which I call myself a life path strategist. I'm also a metaphysical teacher. And so I do numerology readings. I do everything with numerology. I teach you how to understand your kids, understand yourself by your energy you have within. Even in relationships, if you're single, I can also help you find your love mate by your life path number and their life path number to make sure that you are a mate before you invest all this time and energy. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so T.I., a.k.a. Clifford Joseph Harris. He was born on September the 25th, 1980, and which makes him 38 years old. He's getting ready to turn 39 in September. And he will be moving, well, last year when he turned 38, he moved into his third pinnacle, okay? And so he will stay in this pinnacle for 9 years. However, every year he has a personal year, which can still give him a different change of life, change of scenery, not scenery, but overall energy change. However, this pinnacle will have him there for 9 years. Okay, so starting off with his born gift, he was born on the 25th of September, which, you know, when I'm doing my numerology charts, the month doesn't matter. It's the day that they were born on. So he was born on the 25th of September. Turn this up a little bit. And being born on the 25th of September, which means that his born gift is a 7, because 2 + 5 is 7. So to explain this better, when you are born up until the time of 18, some people is 21, your born gift is more active in who you are and what you do. And once you get to 18, some people is 21, then your life path number energy starts to develop and it's more active. You still have the born gift number there, but the life path is there, and that's what you act out. That's who you are. That's how you find your life purpose, and it will carry you through all the way until you leave. So it's your life path is through your lifetime. Okay. And then we have the destiny number. So life path is 25/7. His born gift is 25/7, and also his life path is 25/7, which is crazy, right? He has the exact same numbers, which is, it's not unusual. I've ran into a lot of people who have the exact same born gift that totally equals their life path. And it's like, okay, well, shouldn't that be the same for everybody? No, that's not normal. I wouldn't say it's not normal, but normally he could have been another 7. He could have been a 16/7 or just a regular 7, but his numbers actually equal 25 in his total date of birth. That's September 25th, 1980. So now his born gift is 25/7 and his life path is 25/7. Same thing, okay? Now let's talk about his name. His name, Clifford Joseph Harris, is the number 3. Each one of those names equal 111. One of them, they were like 46, and they were so different. But his first name is, the numbers equal, and that's every letter in his name has a number. And they all total 46, 1. And then his middle name, I believe it was like 10, 1. And then his last name was like a 37-1. So he is all about these ones. Like he is like a true born leader. Okay. There's no way else to explain it. And then you add all of those ones together and you have a 3. So that means his destiny, his expression, energy is 3. Now, TI, I did TI as well. So TI give you an expression of 11-2, which is a master 2, okay? And this is very important when people want to change their name or have a nickname, or, you know, if you're starting a business and you don't want to use your real name, but you want to, you know, kind of hyphenate it or shorten it, or use your middle name opposed to your first name. All that matters in your energy vibration, especially if everybody start calling you this name, you start writing this name. And that's the same way with TI. Everybody's calling him TI. He's recognized as TI. So the TI energy is just as prevalent, I wouldn't say, in him as his real name. So his real name, which is his expression destiny energy, is a 3, and his TI energy name destiny expression is master 11/2. Again, if you watched Black China's video that I did, when she changed her name from Angela, not changed, but used the stage name from Angela to Black China, then it also made her 11-2. And again, people with it, well, I don't want to jump ahead of myself. We're not there yet. So let's keep going down with the names. So the soul urge is 18-9. So that means soul urge is all the vowels in his name, Clifford Joseph Harris. All the vowels in his name equal an 18-9, okay? His personal year is a 19/1, which he's in his 1 personal year. His karmic lesson is a 2, and karmic lessons mean the number that is missing out of his name, okay? Which, however, in TI, the T represents the 2, so therefore it makes up for the karmic lesson somehow. Pinnacle. He's in his 3rd pinnacle. He just crossed over to his 3rd pinnacle last year when he turned 38 years old, okay? So that means he's still 38 up until September. So last year, he probably saw a different shift in his life when he went from the 2nd pinnacle to the 3rd pinnacle, which means, well, we'll get into what that means, but he will be in this pinnacle for 9 years. The last pinnacle he was in, the last pinnacle 2, he was in that pinnacle for 9 years as well. However, the 1st pinnacle and the 4th pinnacle, you are in those the longest. The 1st is when you're born all the way up into 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. For some people, it could even go higher than that, depending on what your life path is. And your 4th pinnacle is the number that once you cross after those 9 years, which his will be 48. When he turns 48, he will move into a whole new pinnacle, which would be his 4th pinnacle, which where he is in that pinnacle, he will last there until he leaves this planet, this wonderful planet called Earth. Okay, so let's get into the meaning of all of these numbers so they can make sense, because I know you like get to the juice. I want to know about TI, the real Clifford Joseph Harris. Okay, so TI, born on the 25th of the month, which means plus 5 equals 7. And all of that is saying, and remember, so I'm going to do his born gift and his life path number together. Remember, life path is the total sum of your date of birth. His life path, and the reason why, because both of them are 25/7. He was born on the 25th, which is 2 plus 5 is 7. And his life path is 25, which is 2 plus 5 is 7. So he's a double 7, okay? With energies of the 2 and energy of the 5, we bring them together, which makes the 7. So I'm going to give you some type of qualities about what the 7 energy kind of encompasses. A loner, okay? And it doesn't mean that you a person who just automatically are by yourself, but it means sometimes you have to pull away from people in order to think, in order to kind of figure things out, because a 7 is so analytical that you overly think things all the time. It's like you're constantly thinking about making that right choice, and you got to make sure everything is lined up, because as a 7 person, you're a perfectionist, right? And so as a perfectionist, you have to make sure you're making the right decision. And so doing that, you don't want to be around a lot of people. You don't make quick decisions. You analyze, you lay it all out on the table, and you make sure that A plus B is C, and it all lines up. And all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted. And that's what a 7 is. A 7 is a person who is very analytical. A 7 also is a person who, when you are, let me back up, because even though he's a 7, he may not have all the qualities of a regular 7. That means the person born on the 7th of the month. He may, because first of all, he's a 2 and a 5. And so his 2 and 5 energy makes up his 7 energy, okay? So that means that he is more talkative, right? Because normally a regular 7 is a person that wants to sit back and observe and then talk very little, only when they feel like they have something really wise to say, or it would truly make sense, or it's just like, I need to get this out. That's when a 7 person truly just jump right in and just do a lot of talking, because mainly a 7 person is usually all in their heads and are not, they usually are in their heads, and while all this stuff is going on, they trying to sort out some things that's going on inside their head. So they're not usually present when they have a bunch of people around, or even in a one-on-one situation, they're not present. They are usually in their heads, thinking about the past. And when I say the past, I mean things that probably happened yesterday, a year ago, 10 years ago, 5 minutes ago. It doesn't matter when, but they usually are back there and they're not present in the conversation. And so that's why 7 people are kind of aloof, so to speak. You kind of, things just go over their heads. And you saying, but T.I. doesn't seem like that type of person. It doesn't matter. Numbers don't lie. If you don't have that one-on-one relationship with him, or you're not in his presence, like personal presence, then you won't know this about him. When he's on TV, he has a certain way he has to be. He has to stay in it and be present. So therefore, what you normally see in him, it's not the true, authentic self of who he really is and who he showed to his family. Okay, so again, most 7 people like nature, and he's a double 7, so I know he's a person who loves being outside. T.I. also needs to meditate, and if you are born on the 25th of the month, the 16th of the month, or the 7th of the month, you are also a person who needs to meditate. And the reason why meditation is so important, because you always got a lot of shit going on in your head, okay? Like constantly things going on, and you don't know, you're just constantly thinking about yesterday, about tomorrow, about today, and you're just never really truly present in the moment. It's like that for a 7, okay? And so if you are a 7, you need to meditate. Meditation would truly help you control the voices, the noise, the noisy head. And by him being a double 7, I know that he has a quite noisy head. And meditation will be something that he truly needs to adapt to. And meditation necessarily does not have to mean sitting still in a place. Meditation could be a walk in nature, by water, sitting by water, exercising, but something where you are kind of pulling yourself away from people and you are one within yourself and God, spirit, there's no way, no other way to say that. Let's see. So again, he's born on the 25th, he's a 7, and his life path is a 7. So also what that is saying, that they can actually be unapproachable sometimes. And I don't know T.I. personally, but my mother is a 777, okay? Her name is a 7, her date of birth is a 7, and she was born on the 16th of the month. And sometimes, yes, you can talk to her, but sometimes it just seems like she comes across kind of cold and not warming. And so he could also have that same characteristic as well, because he is a double 7, and sometimes he just don't want to be bothered, and that could very well be. And now again, my mother's a 777. She's born on the 16th, but my mother does not have the 25. She's not a 25/7. She is the 16/7. Her entire date of birth is 16/7, and her name is a 7. So the difference between her and T.I. being a 25/7, you can be a really good musician. How crazy is that, right? 25/7 people are really well-rounded in music and painting. And because they are so good in that, it has to do with the 2 and the 5 energy, which makes them want to be able to explore and be expressive through their words, their music, and through painting. Okay, simple as that. Also, 7 people are really good writers, and it really doesn't matter where you fall in the 7 spectrum, whether you're a regular 7, a 16/7, or 25/7, you will have the ability to write. Now, some of the plain 7s, they sometimes struggle with writing. They sometimes think that they are not good writers, and that can come from maybe when they were younger being told, don't get too dark, you're way too dark, your writing is too dark, you're going into a crazy place. And so that sometimes can block their what am I trying to say? That it could block their creativity. And however, a 16/7 or a 25/7 are really, really good writers. And so if you are born on the 16th, born on the 25th, and you have been ignoring your ability to just get out there and be creative in writing, it's not going to leave you, okay? It's not going to leave you. So just get a pen and paper and just get started on writing, because it will truly help you in expressing your creativity and expressing it in what you have to say. Mostly people who are 7 are secretive, okay? My mother always had secrets. Like, she's always been a mystery. Stop, Milky. She's always been a mystery to my stepdad, to us, our own children. And that's the way 7s are. Sometimes they so into their heads, and they actually think that they're being really expressive and talkative, but they're not. They're so caught up in the conversations that they're having within themselves that it's like they exclude you out, and you still always become a mystery, because the secretive, you have some secret things going on within you, and what you're dealing with. So let's see, what else do I want to say about it? Oh, so the 25/7 or just the 7 alone are very spiritual. Now, I don't believe T.I. goes to church or anything. However, I know he highly believes in God. And the way people who are 7s are, you can either be so into religion, like truly into religion, like you don't want to hear about nothing else. You don't want to hear about no universe. You don't want to hear about no numerology. You don't want to hear about no astrology. You just all about Jesus, God, and the church, okay? All about your minister, your spiritual leader, your minister leader, your father leader, or whomever you want to call them. Now, those are people who are just kind of turned away from their intuition and turned away from from their calling. because 7 people are very spiritual. They're very intuitive. And so oftentimes they want to ignore what they are feeling. And they think they're supposed to run to the church with it, opposed to just working it out within themselves. Also, if you have 7 people are they are dreamers. Okay, that's how God, when they finally are asleep and their minds has rested from all this busy and noisy stuff that's going on, they finally get an opportunity where God can speak to them, because they're asleep. They're not talking. They're not thinking. Their subconscious is just going on its own. And so 7 people are dreamers. I don't care if you're 7, 16, 25, you are going to dream no matter what, okay? No matter what, you're going to dream, because that's how, again, God connects with you, is through your dreams. He connects with you and downloads in your dreams. And the things that you dream about, it could be people that have passed on, people who are presently here. It could be, majority of it is people talking to you who have passed on. Now, if you are not born on the 16th, the 7th, or the 25th, or your life path is not a 7, 16, or 25, I advise you, when you have a dream about someone who has passed on, it is spirit world trying to trick you to talk to this person, because they come back they come into your dreams as someone who they're trying to get your trust. So they come back to someone who has passed on, so you can trust them because you recognize them. Again, if you're not born on the 7th or the 16th or the 25th, then if you dream about someone who has passed on, I advise you not to talk to them. Wake up, do whatever it takes to not communicate with the dead, okay? However, a 7 person can. They're the only ones, because they are spiritual, because they are direct connection with God. He gives them the opportunity to go back and get answers and communicate with people who have passed on. I don't know how to explain it no other way than that, but it is true. Also, again, people who are 7, they don't need to seek out prayers from other people. They have enough with spirituality within themselves that they can truly connect with God one-on-one and go and directly send their prayers to him. And also, even praying for other people, they're the ones that you want to say, pray for me. Now, I advise people, don't ask people to pray for you, but if you know someone who was truly born on the 7th of the month, the 16th of the month, or the 25th of the month, those are the people who you want to say, pray with me. Not really for me, but pray with me. And T.I. is a double 7. So he is one that I would truly lean on spiritually. And by him being in this celebrity arena, then I think that he is very sincere in what he does and how he does about with other people. Okay. Now, I want to get to some of the, let's see, what else do I need to mention? Some of the negatives, like I said, that comes with being the 7 are, they sometimes can appear kind of cold-hearted, kind of short with you, unapproachable. And I don't know if he's like that, but I'm sure you just can't have all positive and no negatives, okay? Another negative is that they live in the past. Living in the past is one of the biggest things for 7. They are not present. And I have talked to all walks of life of people. And when I find out they're 7, the main thing that their spouse or a loved one or a boss have with them is the not being present throughout the conversations, even when they speak one-on-one or even in a family gathering. It's like they just check out. And I know I said that twice, right? But they do. And so I'll constantly remind them to stay in the present moment. I even have to do that with my mom. Sometimes when it's your family member, you kind of overlook the fact that that they are you don't look at them in a numerology standpoint, in an energy standpoint. You look at them because they're your family and what you always have known about them. But when I look at my mom, I always have to say, is she present right now? Because I'm talking to her and what she's saying back to me is like totally different. Turn it down, Milky. What she says like totally, opposite of what I have said and what her response should be. And so when I got into numerology, it truly helped me understand who she is and who she was when I was growing up, because I was like, I'm a Capricorn, she's a Capricorn, we're nothing alike. And that's pretty much because she's a 777. Okay. And so there are some destructions that are involved when you are a 7. Now, I'm not saying T.I. is any of these things, but some of these things could have played a part in his life growing up before he became very spiritual, before he became into this mature person that he is today. But if you know anybody who was born on the 7th, born on the 16th, born on the 25th of the month, they can have, and if they are acting out in a very destructive pattern or habit, these are some of the things that they could, some of the characteristics that they could have. Okay, they could cheat, and that's in marriage, that's in business, but they could be a cheater. Okay, dishonest, faithful, faithless, and that's a big thing for 7s. Now, I could talk about all day long how spiritual they're supposed to be, but they're the main ones who lack faith. And that's not a destructive behavior. That's just a 7, period. They could be a person who is so strong in other areas in business and in career, in marriage, but then when something happens, then faith just does not play a part in their belief system. And so I encourage people, or I challenge people who are 7 to hold on to that faith and know that you are spiritual, and know that whatever you and know that it will always work out in the end. No matter what, it will always work out in the end. Okay. Another thing is sarcastic and kind of like evil intentions. You may not be evil, but you have evil intentions. Like, you want to be able to pay somebody back. Now, I've never personally had met a 7 who've had that type of energy, because 7 people are so spiritual, and if they're not hanging out in the church, they still have that one-on-one relationship with God. But you can get people who are so disconnected from who they are, or someone who has been programmed to the point where they are totally on the flip side of who they are supposed to be. And then they will be acting out. I mean, I'm sure some of these white supremacists are 7s. I mean, everybody share energy, right? The same energy, 1 through 9. And so I'm sure some of them are acting out in their evil intentions. And that's because they have been programmed to act like that. And so when you, even though your energy is saying that you have all these positive things that can happen, there are still negative things that can happen as well. And in order to have an even balance, you can't have the positive without the negative. And that's where your growth, where these challenges, where these lessons come into play that help you become a better person, a better you, to help your soul grow. Okay, because that's pretty much why we're here in this lifetime. So our soul can become perfect. And that's why we reincarnate. We have reincarnations, because the more and more we come back, the more lessons we learn, the more we get it. And then we become this perfect Christ-like person. So when people tell you that perfection is not real, perfection is real. You can be perfect. And eventually you will be perfect, because you will have returned so many times and going through all these lessons that you'll get it. You finally get it, and you'll see what you're supposed to get, and then you'll be able to go on and live in the tapestry of heaven. Okay, so now that's enough of the 7. I hope you got a good idea of what 7 energy is all about. very, very talented, inquiring mind, very analytical. They are very analytical. So, you know, it's so funny when I hear people talking about, oh, I'm so analytical because I'm a Libra or I'm a Pisces. No, it has nothing to do with that, because you are a 7 energy, because your energy is a 7, and 7 are very analytical people. I heard B.O.B. On Charlemagne's show, and I could not wait. I heard him say, "Oh, I'm a Libra, so that's why I question everything, and I think about everything." And I'm like, as soon as I looked at his born gift and his life path, I'm like, oh, he's a 7. That explains it. And so again, people think that astrology, your zodiac sign, is the end all that says who you are. That is not true. It's your energy, your numerology, your date of birth, your name makes up your beautiful song of who you, your vibrational song of who you are. Okay, and so ironically, T.I. is a 2-5. His energy is made up of 2-5 together. So he does not, when I say he act out as a 2-5, truly act out, because he doesn't have other energies to play with. And so that 7 energy, trying to be alone, pull away, that is probably who he is. Sometimes he just needs to get away by himself. Yes, you see him and Tiny together all the time, but I can assure you, when things get tough for him, or when he truly needs to think, he go into his own private sector to think and kind of get away from all the crowded noise. Okay, now let's move to his destiny number, which is his expression name. Okay, so again, I did both of his names, which is Clifford Joseph Harris, and I did T.I. Now, Clifford Joseph Harris is a 3 energy, a straight 3, because 1 + 1 + 1. All 3 of his names equal 1. And so his destiny expression energy is a 3, which is entertaining, which is communication. So he is a cheerful person. He's a honest person, a person who has humor, which is so funny, because mostly 7 people are very dry, and their humor is they sometimes they're not that funny around certain people, and then when they get with their friends, then they can laugh a lot, but they're not the ones who truly can tell the jokes, right? However, his born name, he's the person who can be very funny, have a lot of humor, also an entertainer, okay, and a person who can speak well and can write well. So he gets that from both of them, both born gift and life path, the writing, and being a 3 energy from his name, his expression. So I can probably assure that he writes his own music. Okay, I don't know about rappers. I guess all rappers write their own music, right? But he probably also can write poetry. He probably can write books, have written books, and he just haven't come out with them yet. He probably also can write plays and write movies, and I bet he can dibble and I bet he does dibble and dabble in a lot of things that has to do with writing, because he is a very creative person from the 3 energy, and expression. He can express himself well from the 3 energy, and an entertainer. And then from the 7 energy, he can pour out the things that are within him. He can just write them out on paper. He can express himself out on paper. And with that being said, it doesn't surprise me that he is as powerful as a rapper, has made it to the top like he has. 7 people are not meant to be down at the bottom, okay? For some reason, the 7 energy always rises to the top. Somehow, business owner, CEO of the company, somewhere where they would be at the top, working their hardest, but not only working the hardest, but being at the top, being in leadership, management. So him being where he is in life, it does not surprise me. And if you are born on the 7th, the 25th, the 16th of the month, your life path, or you have some 3 energy in there, you need to be doing something. You don't just look at these other people who have made it and who has made it big, and you say, wow, look at them. We all have energy. We all have a energy that can push us and move us to and accelerate us to the next level. And that's the beauty about numerology, because numerology kind of confirms who we truly are, because no one ever told us that. And some of us, like the Bible says, many of us are called, but few answered. Many of us, all of us have energy. All of us have great energy. And all of us come here for lessons and opportunities. And if you're sitting there and you're watching and you're the one who's been wanting to make something happen and do something different, but you just, I don't know, you're waiting on an answer, this is your answer right here. Get up, DM me, send me a message, take out a session with me. Allow me to help you with your questions, knowing and helping you finding out the hidden talents, the hidden characteristics within you that no one ever told you about, so you can become the person who you were born to be. We sit there and we worship the people who have passed on as if they would never come again, as if we don't have nobody else out here doing it for us. But we all are here for a purpose. We are all here for a purpose. And one way or another, we are meant to be successful. We are meant to have abundance. We are sorry guys, that's my niece. We are meant to you have greatness. And so it's time to stop looking at others and hoping and wishing and hating on them because they have answered to the call, so to speak, okay? Because we all have a call to answer to. We all have a call to answer to. Now, whether you're going to allow circumstances, whether you're going to allow, your history, whether you're going to allow where you are right now to keep you from moving to that next level, to keep you from being who you were born to be, then that's up to you. But you don't have to do that. You can be great. You can have the great things that God wants you to have. You can find out who you was born to be and why you're here, so you'll know how to go and grow. Okay. So shout out to all those people, all the people from our community who has made it. Shout out to anybody. It doesn't even have to be from my community. I don't care what community it's from, okay? Shout out to the people who have stepped up to the plate and made it, because we all have a calling. We all can do this. And whether you're a housewife, whether you sit at home because of the children, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. Whether you're doing nothing because you don't have a job, that's an excuse. You still have talents and characteristics that every day should keep you busy doing something to answer to your calling, the reason why you're here. With that being said, let's move right on. Okay, so his name, Clifford, he was born to entertain. He was born to be entertaining. He was born to be funny. He was born to be cheerful. But what also comes with that number 3 energy is sadness. Sometimes when you are 3 energy, you kind of reach back in the past and you try to the things that have made you sad, and you bring them to the forefront, and it makes you unhappy. Even if you're having a good time, even if you are life is going really well for you, sometimes as a 3, you make yourself feel sad. I don't even know it's hard to even explain it, but it's so true. You think about things that have made you sad, and so you just tear down your whole positive vibe just because you went back in the past and you grabbed something and now you want to think about it. So when you are a 3 energy, it's best to always keep your vibration up and positive, and don't go back to the past pulling up things that will make you sad. Okay. Again, 3 people, 3 energy. He is born Clifford Joseph Harris. That's where his 3 energy comes from, which is very entertaining. He's a creative child. I can see him doing more than just being an entertainer. He can do a lot of things. That's what a 3 persons can do. They can do a whole lot of things at one time. And so one of the destructive characteristics of a 3 could be gossip, greed, hatred, intolerance, and jealousy. Okay, I have known some people who have been a 3 energy and have been a little jealous when they see someone else getting it or someone else doing something, they have to go buy it, or they'll say, oh, really, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. And then next thing you know, they're going to go get the same thing. Okay, so you have to be very careful when you are a 3 energy. It's okay. What you don't want to do is always want something that somebody else have. Okay, you don't want that. You want to be able to, whatever's for you is for you. Okay, now, and 3 people can also be a little moody too. That's one thing I needed to mention. So let's move on to TI. So Clifford Joseph Harris is a 3 energy. However, TI is, that name is a master 11. So how the best way how I can describe that is that before he started calling himself TI, life was just always good for him. Okay, life was good. Life probably was a lot of struggles. He saw a lot because he was raised, where he was brought up. However, it was not as tough and it was not a lot of lessons until he switched over to TI. Now, the reason why is because that Master 11 can stand on its own 2 feet. Okay, that's what the Master 11 is, a number that will continually take you through my niece. I'm sorry, guys. I know you probably can hear her. Lessons, these lessons that you constantly are learning and having to master, constantly. And just like Black China has gone through a lot, the same way with TI. When you change your name, I cannot explain this enough. Make sure that the name that you are choosing has a really good energy attached to it. Because when you change your name to an energy that says this is the profound lessons that you will be learning, then you wonder, like, why did my life turn around all of a sudden to, like, every time I turn around, it's like a lesson I'm learning. Well, because you changed your name to TI. And that's why. And TI means Master 11. It means pretty much experience intensely challenging circumstances, okay, in life, but come out on the other end very strong, very enlightened. However, you still have to go through these lessons, and so I want, if he ever watched this video, hopefully he will, and anybody else who was born on the 11th of the month, or your total number equals 11, there will be some struggling involved. There will be some struggling that you will master. Okay, some lessons that you will master that will help others learn from your lesson. And also with the Master 11, it's a wounded healer. So in order to be a wounded healer, you have to get wounded, right? You have to go through all these challenges and lessons and learn, and then heal others from your mastery. And so that's what pretty much how the Master 11 works. It's hard, okay, guys? It's hard being a Master 11. I tell people this all the time. It's hard being a Master 11 because of the personal challenges. It could be personal, it could be mental challenges that come. It could be health that comes with that energy. But the reason why the energy is so strong is because when you asked to come in here in this world at a specific time, you knew that the Master 11, you was trying to master something. You came in here mature. So imagine giving yourself the number that will, giving yourself the energy and being called this name of this, and with this energy that will make you have these challenging, give you more of a challenging life. And that's exactly what happened when he called himself TI. It changed his whole perspective on how life was for him. So I commend him. I commend Black China and whomever else changed their name to a Master 11. because that is definitely a challenging energy. It's a mastery, and the reason why you're going through a lot is because you have to master those lessons. Okay. Also come with Master 11 are psychic gifts, more intuitive. So he will be even more intuitive to add on top of the 7 energy that he already currently have. Remember, his energy as a 7 is already intuitive. Okay. He's a dreamer. He's intuitive. He's spiritual. And that's what the Master 11 is making him even more. It's actually putting him up another notch of spirituality, putting him up another notch of intuitiveness, adding another notch for psychic abilities. But when you are a Master 2, it also comes to play is nervousness, because it's a part of the nervous system. So nervous energy will come into play. Sorry, guys, these lashes are working my nerves. The 11 energy, your nerves, you will be a little bit more anxious, have anxiety. So again, he didn't do anything wrong by changing his name to T.I. He just added a little bit more life experience to himself, which is beautiful, because it seems to me with all the stuff that he has gone through, he has learned these lessons and able to go talk about it without shame, without guilt, but able to truly hold his head up and say, look, this is what happened. Here I am here now, and I'm still moving along, right? All right, so I'm going to move along, right? Okay, so let's say the next thing is the soul urge. Now, this soul urge energy, and I didn't recognize this number because, it's kind of down the line. But I started to truly recognize the soul urge, because that's why we're here. We're here for the soul to have experience, right? And so the soul urge energy comes from the vowels in your name. And the vowels in your name is truly speaking to what the soul urges you to do while you're here. And so his soul urge energy was an 18-9. So when you think of T.I., you will understand what this soul urge, if this is him, if this is truly how he is, out there right now, how he is daily, or in his, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but how he is act out throughout life. Okay. So soul urge 18-9, which is wise, compassionate, globally conscious, a person who wants to strive and make this world a better place, a utopia, right? That's what the 18-9 is. And I can truly say, I see T.I. doing great things in his life. He has not even tapped into who he truly is right now. As he gets older, he will truly evolve into a totally different person, maybe not even rapping anymore, maybe doing more into the movie scene, writing movies, producing movies. I would say coming out with more books if he doesn't already have one, writing books, whatever he is doing, it will help on a global scale. Okay. And that's because that's what his soul is urging him to do, something, be a service to others. And I can see him truly doing something like that, taking his wealth, building schools in Africa, building schools in Atlanta, getting these laws changed. So as you can see, he's out in his community, constantly working hard, standing up, talking about 45, standing up for his people. And that's what the 9 soul urges him to do. And he's doing that. And I can see him doing more of that as he gets older in his lifetime. Okay. So now let's move on to the year, his personal year. So this year, 2019, T.I. is in a personal year 1. And that's what, again, excited about him being a personal year 1, because it's like he's reinventing himself all over again. He is this brand new person. He is this different character. He's the past 9 years, has been washed away, and now he is preparing and sowing and planting seeds for the next 9 years. And that's what your personal year one is all about. He's in a planting stage of seeds. He is in a planting stage of who he is, of his career. He's in a planting stage of his authentic self. He's becoming more and more of who he truly is within, and not what he has been programmed to be or what somebody else have wanted him to be. He's totally stepping out, being more talkative, being authentic. There's no way else to say it. He's becoming this whole new reborn person. He has washed away the past 9 years, and he's stepping into a brand new TI. And I can assure you that he's feeling all of these energies. He probably has new business ventures going on right now. He's probably setting up having new ideas about more and more stuff to do in business, more and more ways to make money, more and more ways to help the community, more and more ways to help this whole planet globally, more and more ways to help this America, truly trying to make America great again in his own way. That's what this personal year one is all about. So I commend you, TI, keep up the great work that you are doing for your community, and truly take this time to use this personal year one and shine brightly, be this new you, because next year is going to be nothing but slow pace. You will continue to work all that you're doing, but the energy will make you want to kind of slow down. And that's what the 2 years all about, a year of patience. Okay. So now let's move into, and I'm wrapping it up too, because I'm already at 51. So now we're going to wrap it up and talking about the pinnacle that he's in. So when you think about numerology, that's why I say numerology can go, it's more than just your date of birth. It's more than your life path. It's more than your born gift. It's a whole vibrational song of who you are. And that's what I'm giving you today. I'm giving you T.I.'s vibrational song, and it's beautiful. It's so spiritual. Like, I could just totally see him being like that Kanye West, having this whole church in the way that he wants to have it, not how they're doing it in the Baptist churches, but having this whole spiritual church where he's teaching and encouraging people, metaphysical church, because that's what the 7 truly is all about. It's truly is about finding your spirituality, becoming one with God, bringing others with you, and teaching them how to have to love themselves and have that inner love, and being one with God, and knowing that God is connected to you within. So with that being said, pinnacle, he moved into his pinnacle 3 stage, cycle, pinnacle 3 cycle last year when he turned 38 years old. So he will be turning 39 very, very soon. This pinnacle that he is in, the 3rd stage, 3rd cycle pinnacle, he will remain here for the next 9 years. And it's not a bad place to be, especially with the pinnacle number that he is in. So with the pinnacle challenge, not only do you have a cycle number, but the pinnacle cycle, there's 4 pinnacle cycles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Depending on your life path, it tells you what cycle you are in. He's 38, so he's in his 3rd pinnacle cycle, which means that according to his life path, according to his birth date, he's in a 5 pinnacle. And guess what? With this pinnacle, he has a 0 challenge, which is a cipher challenge, which is not usual for everybody. Okay. Everybody does not get a chance to have a 0 challenge. That simply means throughout his many incarnations, many reincarnations, that he has mastered a lot of things in his life. And with mastering a lot of things in his life, he has he's able to have this 0 challenge that comes along with his pinnacle. It's like a free pass. It's like free will, like true free will that you can have with this pinnacle. Okay, so the pinnacle 5. Let's talk about that. The pinnacle 5 time is always a time of change and uncertainty. Life without a filter. It's all about freedom, adventure, and liberation. You have to be adaptable, you have to be flexible, and he will be in this pinnacle for 9 years. 9 years of uncertainty, 9 years of change, 9 years of being adaptable and flexible, 9 years of adventure, freedom, really, truly freedom. And so this mantra for this period should be change in every direction, okay? So in this period of 9 years, he will see changes in career, direction, business, decisions, spirituality, and health. Spirituality and health. And I mean, not like a bad change, but a change for the good, a change that will elevate him. And he may not see change in all those areas. Well, over a course of 9 years, he could, over a course of 9 years. So I just want to say, T.I., stay healthy, do everything you can to keep your diet right. Spirituality, this is a good year to do a lot of praying and soul searching. You do that right now with being a 7. A 7 is caused about, that is mainly about searching who you are, who am I, where am I going, where am I supposed to be, am I doing the right thing, it's constantly soul searching. But just wanting to let you know that this is the year for you, the 9 years, your pinnacle, to be adaptable and flexible and not try to stick to the book. And 7s are good with change, but and I'm glad, because you are in the pinnacle of 5, which is all about change. Okay, so let's get to the challenge of his pinnacle, which is 0, which is a cipher year, a 0 cipher challenge. Now, again, it represents all or nothing. It represents empty or full. You decide. That's the thing. He does not have a challenge to go along with this pinnacle for the next 9 years. He can decide whether he's going to be empty or whether he's going to be full, or whether he's going to have, it's like he's going to embrace this free will, embrace this free will. Now, again, being a 5 energy, 5 pinnacle, I do want to say that, and I know that T.I. and Tiny have gotten closer together, but truly understand, with that 5 energy, it wants you to have all of this freedom and not attached to anything. So this is going to be a challenging 9 years for their marriage. It can be okay, but he's going to have to truly kind of turn down all of the how can I say it? Turn down all of the anything that comes, the challenges that comes his way of wanting him to kind of step outside of the marriage or step outside of what he's trying to be, because that's all about the freedom of the 5 energy, and as a pinnacle, as an overall energy pinnacle of who you are, okay, of what you'll be doing for the next 9 years. Hope I explained that right. Now, to meet the challenge of the 0 vibration, you must have some sense of mastery over this constructive aspect. Because remember, this is free will at its finest. Free will at its finest. He will have. And a mastery a master over constructive aspects of all other numbers, meaning he has to be able to understand diplomacy, have a mastery over self-expression. So that means kind of not be too expressive on what you got to say out in the media. you know, understand to kind of hold back and not allowing the ego to take over, being more understanding, responsible, and have the wisdom and the personal power. Again, beautiful, beautiful 9-year pinnacle that this brother is about to, he started last year. So this will be his 2nd year going into his pinnacle 5. Pinnacle is all about freedom, adventure, exploring, and that's what he will be doing a lot in this 9 years, just making sure that you are taking that free will challenge and containing all of that freedom that you will have in your life, okay? And using it wisely. So this will wrap up I think I talked about everything. This will wrap up my reading on TI. I hope you guys love this reading. Give me a thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube. Share it if you're watching it on YouTube or Facebook. But if you want me to read someone else, definitely leave me a comment below and I will do their reading, their entire chart. If you want your chart done, DM me, or you may email me at hello@defining, DEFINING, life, LIFE, path, PATH.com. That's hello@defininglifepath, or you can DM me on Facebook, Defining Life Path, or Instagram at Defining Life Path. It's just that simple. If you want a reading, you can also go to my website, www.defininglifepath.com. Yeah, that's all the ways you can reach me. Definitely send me a message if you want me to read someone else. I do have a few other people in mind that I'm going to do their readings for. Soulja Boy, Cardi B. I love celebrities because, you know, what you see is not always what you get. What you see, how they are out in the limelight, sometimes that could be totally different of who they truly are, the soul self. And the numbers do not lie. The numbers don't lie, people. So you can sit here, you can watch this, you can say, you know what, I don't see T.I. being spiritual. I don't see T.I. Well, I'm telling you, if you don't personally know him, and you can know him personally as well, but still, you will never truly know the real. And he's a 7. They're very secretive. They're very mysterious. So it's hard to truly know a 7, whether you can even be married to them or even their child, and know the true person, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, this is a wrap-up of T.I., a.k.a. Clifford Joseph Harris, born on September the 25th, 1980. Thank you. Bye-bye. Remember, love, live, and forgive. My name is Cynthia R. Meeks. I am a numerologist/coach, which makes me a life path strategist and a metaphysical teacher. See you next time. Bye-bye.